Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion. I was pulling out my eyeliner and I was going to say we started here with chapstick, and I caught myself because then I'm like, that's not chapstick, troll. That's not chapstick. This is chapstick. Oh my goodness. Okay, so welcome to my channel. My name is Dion. This is the crazy troll nation of YouTube. Because of stuff like that, we just have fun, and even when stuff is just kind of like, what the hell is she doing? We leave it in the video anyway because it's real life. You know, every moment is not okay, folks. So now today we're going to do. We have fun here. The troll part is this. Feeling okay coming on video with no face paint on. I do have on brown eyeliner, and that is it. And I did my brows, that is it. As you can tell, no concealer, no foundation, no blush, no nothing. And it is okay because here at the Crazy Troll Nation, on this troll train, we embrace our natural features as much as we like. Let me try to multitask. As much as we like to play in face paint, we don't feel like it's required to use a certain brand or use a certain tool or apply things a certain way because somebody else says so. We grown. We do what we want to do. The bottom line is use whatever you want to use, brands or tools, to get your makeup on your face the way you want it. That's it. And rock it. Wear it and rock it with confidence. That is the concept of the Crazy Troll Nation. So if they want to say we crazy because we do things different than they do, they want to say we're a troll because we don't do our makeup the way they think we should do it, or it doesn't look how they think it should look. Yo, we're going to ride this train, baby. I do curse on my channel sometimes. Angle concealer brush as usual. If you've been here before, you know this. And this is what else you'll see here. So I was trying to think of what to do. I have a few palettes that I haven't. I like half of it, and I'll show you what I did to it. And I did show it a while ago when I first did the thing. I'm always doing things, and I haven't used it since. And so I'm like, I need to use this palette again. Let me just do a video. I also need to use my MAC palette again, which I made from singles, which I actually do really like, but with other palettes I've been getting in and trying to knock out videos for those, even though I have like, I think 30 palettes maybe, I think a little less, but at least 30, stuff still gets forgotten and doesn't get used. And so I said, you know what, let me just pull these out, do videos. I was going to do a full face, and when I sat here, I was just like, I'm just not feeling it. There's some stuff going on. There's always stuff going on, I know. Maybe I'll talk about it. I'm trying to find a brush for my lower lash line color. I may talk about it when I do the video. I'm not sure, because if I'm talking and telling a story about something, if I fumble over my words or edit something out, then it's going to sound disjointed and not make sense. So anyway, the palette we're going to use today is, it says Plain Jane. I won Plain Jane in a giveaway from Gel Beauty 87. The Plain Jane shades are the large ones, the ones that fit in the pan. So these are the Plain Jane shades that I kept. These other shades are from the Heather Austin palette. I have an Adept Cosmetics playlist, so if you want to see my thoughts on that, yeah, and I also do explain why I changed it. I haven't used it since, and I think, well, not I think, I'm pretty sure what my problem is. I like to do 2, 3, 4 shades on the lid, sometimes 2 different transition shades. And when you're dealing with multi-chromes and dual chromes, it's best to just put 1 shade on the lid, at the most 2, because otherwise you're not going to see the shift, because there's nothing for the light to bend off of, because you have 3 or 4 shades on the lid. And so I'm not a one and doneer, and I have done one and done looks, or I'll even be doing a look for you guys to see, and I'll be like, this can be a one and done, just do your lower lash line and mascara and you're done. And so I do like one and dones, but when I see shades that are best suited for one and dones, I don't feel inspired, because I like to do more things with my looks than just 1 shade on the lid. And it took me a while to figure out. I love these right here from Plain Jane. I love these shades. This one, and this one from Heather Austin, I loved it, but I just was not inspired. And it took me a while to figure that out, because I like the shades, but I never use them. And I'm not good about pulling well, let me just take this from Plain Jane and then go into another palette for other stuff. I'm not good at that. I just want to pick up a palette, slap a bunch of colors on. Hopefully it looks okay. Excuse me. Troll. And do a look. So that's what my issue is. So what we're going to do today, hopefully it comes out nice. We're going to take this shade here, and I do have, this is the top row of colors. No, this is the bottom, it's upside down. and I should have known that because I'm holding it upside down. This is the bottom row of colors. I put a label. This is the top row of colors. So the color we're going to put, this is Video Chat. This is going to go in the first half of our lid, and this is the Hourglass number 3 brush. I guess I can talk about what happened. Oh, I just felt chunks on my face. I don't know why I didn't remember this was chunky, because I'm looking at it and it looks chunky. Yeah, I should have used the sponge tip applicator. And this is why I'm not good at storytelling when I'm doing my face, because I get distracted with doing my face. My mom was physically assaulted by another patient in the nursing home. She has dementia. She's been in the nursing home for years now. And I got a phone call saying one thing. One of my mom's sisters went the next day. It turned out that the nurse who called me lied. Well, not the nurse who called me. The nurse who relayed the information from the nurse who supposedly found my mom lied about the situation. And so that really... Did I tell y'all curse on my channel sometimes? So that pissed me off too. First of all, my mom being someone who can't articulate what happens to her or who did what, gets physically assaulted. Listen, I'm talking about black eye, bruises over here. Both of her ears had scratches and redness. One of her arms had bruises and scratches. One of her hands was all marked up. I mean, it's clear somebody really, like, you know what I want to say. And so I was hurt emotionally that my mom was physically assaulted. And I was upset that the nurse who supposedly found her, the one who called me, lied about the situation. So we, the family, we did find out what really happened. They were trying to cover it up. The police were called. My family called the police. And we did have her taken to the hospital to be evaluated. And the director of nursing, she even tried to cover up, because when the detectives came, she said the director of nursing was notified. She never said she was the director of nursing. Why would you? Yeah, I'm upset. So we're handling that. The detective is going to continue his investigation, and he did say he is going to press charges. And one of my aunts, she's been taking pictures every day of my mom, her face and her ears, her arms and things like that. Because I'm like, I want all of this on record for when we go to court. You can't just say she fell. You don't get those kind of marks just from falling. So I'm an emotional mess again. My family is awesome. They did move him to a different floor because my family was like, he needs to be out of here. Yeah, so it's like my family's telling them this is what you need to do, and then they're doing it. It's like, why aren't you guys just doing your damn job in the first place? So it's just really annoying. And it also makes me feel bad for patients who don't have someone checking in on them, looking after them, because the nurse just telling me, oh, I found a such and such place. You know, you saw another family member, something like that, and they're going to think, oh, okay, well, they just fell. Turned out she was physically abused. Clearly, from looking at her face, she was. And so it was just, I'm very upset and I'm very angry. Thank you to a sister friend of mine. You know who you are. I text her. It was late, and because I'm thinking, I was so upset. I'm thinking, who's awake this time of night? I texted her. I said, are you awake? She said, barely. And she's like, why? And I said, well, situation happened, but I'll be okay. And she's like, no, if you need to call, go ahead. And I'm like, are you sure? She said, yeah. So we talked for a while. It helped a lot. So thank you so much for allowing me to call and vent, because I was really just beside myself. I had flakes on my face. Not really many. We're going to take, that's not ACI one. Yeah, ACI 1. This is from Plain Jane, and we're going to put that on the outer portion of our lid. And so that's what we're doing. And we are looking into moving her to a different nursing home. I'm not sure how I feel about that, only because the dude is no longer on the same floor as my mom, which means she's safe. And because she's been there for so long at this nursing home, the regular staff, the regular nurses, they know her and they're used to her behaviors, her mannerisms. They can tell when something's wrong. They can tell when she's having a good day. And so part of me is like, okay, we're gonna have to start that all over somewhere different. You see what I'm saying? And the ones who have been there the longest with her, they do look out for her. And they're the ones that usually will call. Even if another nurse is witness to a situation, one of the long timers, they'll still call me. Or if I call, they'll talk to me and they'll give me like extra information. And so I kind of like that. Like, I like knowing, that there is someone there looking out for her, for us. And so I'm not feeling good about having to start that process over. She went into the nursing home in 2016. This is 2022. And it took them, I think, almost a solid maybe 9 months to learn her. Because when you're some stages of dementia, you can be incoherent. And so you really do have to pay attention to learn body language, moods, behaviors, facial expressions, and things like that. And so it took about a good 9 months, and they did that. And so to start that all over again, I'm just like, I don't know. And then all nurses aren't as caring as others either. And so I'm really just concerned, for my mom. Yeah, so that is that. We're going to take PaO2, I think that's what it is. And we're going to, both of those were the same brushes. This is an Esum V33, and this is the first matte that we're using. We're going to put this, we're going to do an outer V type situation, maybe take a little into the crease. And so that's what's new going on with me right now. And I know it's always something going on with me, even if it's just my own personal health. Being a disabled veteran, for those of you who are new and don't know that. And so, I always say it's always something. It really is. Like, and I'm laughing, but I'm laughing because I'm frustrated and I don't want to just go on a cursing spree here. Yeah. And that's another thing with storytelling while doing makeup is I could have kept pausing what I was saying to edit out one eye, but it's easier just to keep going because I'll forget where I was in the story and just keep repeating myself. And I know all of that doesn't need to be repeated. Excuse me. So this is what we have here, and I do like it. I know a lot of people, sorry for smacking, had an issue. I had this brush for my outer corner shade. Well, we're going to put that away. And we're going to take this shade here, which is the shade we had put on the outer corner. That's going to go on our lower lash line. This is a Fenty 220 Precision brush. And so this is, oh, what the hell? This is not, you know what, this brown is too dark. This is not covering up this brown. And I did go thick with the brown. It was a NYX retractable eyeliner in brown. This is not covering that up. So now like my bottom lid is looking very thick and dark. Wow. Yeah. We're going to go back with the brush that had this transition shade on it. I'm going to put that on this brush, the same brush, and we're going to buff this out. I know I look crazy, like, trying to buff it. And I know some people just look up, but for some reason I want to see where the brush is going, so then I'm like, thank you for being here. I needed this distraction. I can't say I necessarily needed the outlet because I have spoken to 2 of my dear friends about it. The one sister friend I told you was like, yeah, go ahead and call me. And then I spoke to a local friend who also has a clinical, actually both of them have clinical backgrounds. The one I called has a doctorate in psychology, just like me. We're special folks and we do support each other, whether we're working in the same office or not. And my local friend I used to work with her in the clinical field. That looks better. It doesn't look as harsh to me, but I'm going to dip in again because that brown, oh, that was really dark. I don't know why I really thought this red was going to cover it. I was wrong, and that's okay. That's how we learn. I am going to put, that's better. I was going to put Max Dip Down Fluid Line, which is a brown, on my upper lash line, but I'm still trying to get a feel for the Fenty Fly Liner in Big Truffle, which is brown, but for me it looks almost like a burgundy, and I do have issues with color perception. I know I said that before. I like the black one a lot, and so I was sure I was going to like the brown one, but to me, and I did swatch it in a video, and to me it looks more burgundy than brown. Unless it's a brown with a red base. You see that? Like that? I don't know. So what I'm going to do is after I put this on this side, I am going to go in with the MAC Dip Down. It's a brown. I don't know why I always feel like I need to sing that. Dip down is a brown. What? Alright, I'm tripping. Yeah, this isn't like a dark brown like I thought it was going to be. But I'm going to go in with Dip Down is a brown because it'll balance out the darkness of the brown underneath. So that's why I'm doing that. I was hoping this was going to do that, but I'm really seeing that it's really not a brown. This is an Esum T03, which I have difficulty. I could have used a different liner brush. Getting a thin line with it. But because the bottom is so thick, I just want to balance it out. And so even though I don't like thick liner on the top line because it takes away from seeing my lid colors because of all the puffiness I got going on, I just wanted to kind of look more even between the thickness of the line between the top and the bottom lash lines. And so even though I don't like a thick line, look at that, serves a purpose. Now see how different this looks than this one, the top lash line? Let me know if you have Plain Jane, whether the original or the remastered, or if you have the Heather Austin palette. And let me know your thoughts on it. Excuse me for smacking. The videos I saw, either it was, this is the greatest palette ever, or it was, the mattes in here are not as good as the other ones. So there's like two different schools of thought on the palette. Me personally, I didn't have an issue with the mattes. Like you saw how they went on. I did blend this one up too high, but that has nothing to do with the shadow formula. So for me, the mattes were okay. I think this might be my third time using it, so I can't say if they're better than Natasha Denona's creamy matte formula, or cream to powder formula, which is my favorite formula from her, which I love, but I don't have issue with them. And so I don't know. So let me know your thoughts on that. I was debating whether or not to say this next part or not, which is why I hesitated. If you do have a loved one in a nursing home, call at least twice a week. I mean, at least twice a month. Just to say, hey, I'm so-and-so. I'm checking up to see, you know, how my aunt, my grandmother, my mother, sister, whoever, my brother is doing. Because we learned early on, even if you're not there every week, which my aunts are there like every week, at least every other, except when they were shut down for COVID. When you have a family member that calls and shows up, they will give your person special attention because they know somebody's checking. And so that's the only reason I'm saying that is, you know, if you can't make it, make a phone call at least once a week, every 2 weeks at the longest, because their behaviors change because they're like, oh, so-and-so is going to be calling here, so we need to act like we're doing our job. I don't really care for this, but I'm going to use the e.l.f. Big Mood Mascara. This wand is just way too big for me. And the shape is okay if it was thinner for me, because I have a hard time getting it to coat my center lashes. You see how this is shaped? And so some people love this, but I find to evenly coat all of my lashes, especially right here in the middle, I have to put on like 3 coats. And after 2, it gets clumpy. And so I don't like this. So why is it still here? Because I'm going to do an inventory video. I'm just trying to think of the best way to do it. Meaning, do 1 3-hour video showing everything. I'm not going to do that. I promise you I'm not going to do that. I don't even think it would transfer onto my computer for me to even edit that, to be honest with you. But I might just do, you know, eyeshadows, blushes. And this just hit up here. This thing is just so... It shouldn't be called Big Mood Mascara. It should just be called Big Wand Mascara. But I am going to break it down into categories. And I'm going to inventory with you. And also do a declutter. And so that's why things that I'm not really liking, chances are I'm going to get rid of them. And because I purchased a bunch of stuff on my no-buy, oxymoron, and this just hit my nose, oxymoron, my no-buy purchases. No-buy means not buying anything. And I used to do, you know, something in, something out, which means I need to get rid of some stuff. And that's why I'm up to almost 30 palettes, because I was down, I think, to 23, I think. So... Sorry for digging in my ear. I think that's like so rude. Lips. I know I was forgetting something. I'm laughing because I'm going to use the NYX Butter Gloss in Lava Cake. And the backstory is when I first used it, I had said, and it was during a live. Someone invited me as their guest for an IG live. And I said, to me, it smells like what I think butt ass crack would smell like. And Tiana, who also does IG lives, she was, what do you call it when people watch it? She was one of the viewers. And to this day, she's like, butt ass crack just cracks up every time she thinks about the butter glosses. And so now every time I even think about this thing, it makes me laugh. She invited me to be a guest on her live, and we did that Saturday. And so that was fun. I don't think I'll do lives because I was telling her, excuse me for smacking, it seems like most of them are done Saturday mornings or early afternoon. And because of my sleep schedule, I'm usually asleep. And she did say I can do them and then just save them. But then I like the interaction because while we're doing the live, people are commenting, we're talking to the people who are watching. And it is a lot of fun. And I'm assuming it would be similar as a YouTube live, which I know I asked you guys if you would want me to do one. And some of you said yes, but then as I looked more into it, I think I need more subscribers to do a YouTube live, I think. Yeah. So I do kind of want to do Instagram live, but it's hard enough for me keeping up with my YouTube channel. So I'm just like, do I really want to like do something else? And I kind of don't think I do. In a way I do, but in a way I don't. I'm going to go, this is a look, not going to do anything to the face. I hope this isn't distracting. Let me cover up the redness. How's that look? Ooh, look at my wrinkles. We accept it here because we're trolls. This is what we do. The eye look, if you can focus. Let me try to do this. The eye look. What do you think? I am really digging it. And you saw how easy it was to come together. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Yeah, let me know what you think about Plain Jane or Heather. Yeah, if you have those. Or any other Adept Cosmetics palettes, which I don't have. And I doubt that I would purchase more just because of my own issue stuff that I spoke about earlier with the one and done stuff. And then I keep hearing negative things about the matte formula. So I'm just like, I don't know if I'm going to spend the money and then don't like it. Anyway, I'm really going to go. Thank you for being here. And you will see me in the next video.